Gear Patrol calls their new dive watch the best sub-$500 dive watch. Full stop. Men's Health rated them as the most stylish solar watch in the game. Who are we talking about? It's Movement. They're leveling up your gift giving with the sleekest watches you can buy and the biggest deals of the season. Shop 30 to 50% off Movement's innovative California clean watches, jewelry, and accessories with fast free shipping and returns now at mvmt.com. That's mvmt.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Potted Together podcast. I'm Nicole, and I'm joined by my lovely co-hosts, Adam and Becky.
Hello.
Wait, what are you eating, Becca? Because you're making me hungry again.
It's trail mix. My favorite, the mountain mix with the M&M, peanut, a little bit of raisin, cashew, almond.
Oh, is it a Trader Joe's mix?
No.
Oh my gosh. I can't think of what the mix is at Trader Joe's, but it has like candied pineapple in it. It's so good.
Oh, yum. Great value.
Yum.
Do you have a Trader Joe's by you?
No.
Oh.
It's the worst. No, but I can go to Kansas City or St. Louis, and they have one there. Multiples. So I did go at like the beginning
that's right.
of October.
We did this when we were out there. We talked about this.
Yeah, remember how Becca was like so concerned that we were just going to be annoyed that she wanted to grocery shop? And I was like, no, Trader Joe's is an experience that I'm happy to live in for hours. Like, I will sit in that store forever.
Yeah, I did feel pretty guilty for making you guys go to Trader Joe's.
Never. It's like going to IKEA. It's always a venture.
Yeah.
All right. Well, today's topic is going to be our plans for the season change and what we kind of want to see with our plant collections and what we hope for the changing of seasons, which if you're in a different part of the world may not apply to you, but that's okay. We're going to talk about it anyway.
You have to listen anyway.
But first, let's catch up. What do you think? I was trying to think of like how my week has been before we started recording, and I'm like, I'm gonna be that boring person this week. Not a whole lot going on over here. But Becca, what do you have going on?
Okay. Well, we've already discussed because we were on the phone before we started recording, but last night was like, oh my God, I feel crowded. I feel like the walls are closing in on me and I need to get some things out of my house. So yeah, that's what I did that last night. I did the living room last night, got some blankets off. Okay. I had throw blankets just folded on the floor and I'm like, this is a problem. This is a big problem. So I found this like antique quilt rack and It looks great. I thought it would make my house look old, but whatever. It works. My blankets are not on the floor with spiders because I picked up one of the blankies to put it on me and there was a spider in it. Yeah. Which like
season.
Spiders, like they don't really scare me, but if they surprise me, yeah, they freak me out. Like I'm not afraid of spiders. Honestly, I kind of like them. If I see one in my house, I don't kill it. I just pick it up and put it outside with a cup. But that one I did kill because it freaked me out. It just scared me. But like, even if it's a little one, I will take the time to scoop it up.
Yeah, same.
Anyway, but yeah, so I did that and I'm doing my hallway transformation.
Yeah.
I'm pretty busy. Daniel's been out of town for a work thing, so I've been alone. And the first night is always the worst. I did not sleep. I woke up at like 1 a.m. fully awake and I was like, oh, thank God it's morning. And I look at my phone and it's like 1 a.m. I'm like, awesome. I've been asleep for 2 hours. 2. And I was wide awake. I'm like, okay, we got to do something here. And then I woke up again at like 7 and I was like, oh, okay, good. So anyway,
No, it was earlier than 7 because you text us and you're like, oh my God, thank God you're awake.
what was it, like 6? It was,
Yeah,
it was like
it
a
was
weird.
early.
Yeah, it was a weird hour. I think Nicole, you texted first, or no,
Yeah.
maybe I texted. I don't remember. But like, I texted in the group to reply to something, and then Nicole texted back like right away, and I was like, "Oh my God, thank God you're awake." Hi. I slept horrible.
And I was taking Jay to the airport 2 hours after that, and I was telling Adam before you got on the call that I've been sleeping like crap too. Which
Yeah.
usually it's the opposite. I usually sleep better, so I don't know. I don't really know what's going on, but it's aggravating.
Yeah, it's always the first night that I sleep really bad, and then after that, I'm like, okay, because I get like really scared and paranoid. Like, what if someone's in my house? This would be the perfect time to crawl out from the vent and kill me.
Is this the first time you're alone in the new house?
He's
Or
gone
no?
away for like weekends before, but I think this is like
Okay.
the first like week. Like long term. But yeah, it's only ever been like a couple nights at this place. But you know, he's gone away for, you know, much longer than that before. So
Yeah.
it's just an adjustment. But anyway, yeah, he'll be back tomorrow. And anyway, so I'm just trying to get things done, clean things out. We were just talking about how Adam and I are keepers, right, Adam? I don't want to misrepresent you. We're keepers. Yeah. Nicole throws shit away, does not even think twice. She's like, get it out of here. Yeah. And actually, there's this person on YouTube who I follow, and she's reading this book. And I like to watch people who read self-help books so that I don't have to read the cringy self-help books. I just get to like glean the knowledge without having to sit through 7 hours of people telling me what to do. So she was saying, this person said, if you can replace it in 20 minutes under $20, just get rid of it. Like if you're on the fence. And I was like, that's a great tip. So anyone out there is wanting to do some decluttering, I'm kind of going off of that a little bit. But, you know, I get stuck on the sentimental things. Like, do I need to keep all of my cheer bows from when I was 15? No, but there's a sentiment attached because I made them. But I don't need to keep them. I pick 2. I pick 1. And then I move on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've already got a big box just ready to go, and we're rearing ahead. We're still going. So all good things.
Good.
Yeah. Steve like attaches emotional stuff to like everything. So that's been really hard too, because like when he was actually going into the office, like when I first moved here, I was like, you are never wearing camouflage cargo shorts ever again. There was like 10 pair. And you know, like he's not a tall man. Like way below the knee is where they hit. And I was just like, okay, if you're short and then you're wearing pants that are basically capris, like it's just going to make you look smaller. Anyway, but like he would never throw them away. So when he would go into the office, I would be like, well, I'm making a Goodwill trip. And I just like took all of his like shorts that I didn't like.
Savage.
And I was like, nope. But like him and I both have like hordes of t-shirts. Like I have all my fraternity t-shirts. If you were in a fraternity or sorority, you'll know that t-shirts were like a thing. Every event had its own t-shirt. And I have them all. And I'm like, well, I don't want to throw them away.
But are you ever
Maybe
going to
I
wear
should-
them?
I'm never going to wear them again. I probably can't even fit my chubby butt into my COVID body into them. But I was like, I want to make a t-shirt quilt because Steve has a bunch too, because he was a motorcycle rider. He's got a bunch of Harley Davidson shirts and like
cool.
things from vacations. But then I was like, I really just need to find someone who can make like, you know, those t-shirt quilts.
That's what I was going to suggest. Okay, yeah, because I kept all my t-shirts too, and I'm like, what the freak do I do with these? T-shirt quilt. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it is like, it's a memory, you know, it's nice.
Yeah.
Every time I buy a new t-shirt, I get rid of an old one. But ask me which one I've had for quite some time.
Ariel.
Little
Ariel.
Mermaid.
Little Mermaid.
I want to be where the people are.
But she's faded. You can't really even see her that much anymore. So I think it's time to retire Ariel pretty soon.
Oh my
Isn't that what
gosh.
the-
See, I
Isn't that
wouldn't
what the
do
kids
that.
say when someone's like really drunk or like super stoned? They're like, "Oh, he's so faded."
So faded. Yeah, she's faded.
That is what people say. Oh my God. I recall saying that at some point.
Yeah.
I'm so faded. Maybe in high school, prom night. I don't know.
So, Becca, are you like a hoarder of like craft stuff? I'm assuming you are because that's what I am too.
Yeah. And the thing with craft stuff is it doesn't expire, and it's
Yeah.
really convenient to have these things around because it's also inconvenient to have to go out and get things. So that's definitely like I have lots of little paint, lots of glue, and I'm like, I don't want to throw these things away. But I always forget that I have them, so then I go buy more, and then it's just a cycle. So it's like I
Yeah.
either have it all on display, which looks cluttered and bad, or I put them in a box, and then I forget that I have it, and then I go buy more. So I'm struggling right now. Like, I have a lot of inner turmoil. My chest hurts. I think I'm having some anxiety currently about this closet situation because it just makes me so anxious, and my garage is full of cardboard. We had a recycling center that I would drop off because, you know, I get a lot of packages, can't find things locally. I work with brands, they send things in the mail. And I have a lot of cardboard, and there used to be a recycle center where I could just like rip off all the tape and take it to the recycle center. But people were not doing it correctly, so they shut it down. So now
Oh.
I have nowhere to take my boxes. So I just have to throw them away or compost them. But I have like a disgusting amount of cardboard in my garage. It's filling up like the size of a car. That's how much cardboard I
Bonfire
have.
time. Just burn it. Get
You think
a
I
burn
should just
barrel.
burn it? Honestly, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
so
that's what we
stressed
used to
about
do out in
it.
the country.
Yeah, we need to get a burn barrel to just burn shit. We have plenty of space to do it, but I just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That is
I used-
stressful.
I have like a lot of macrame, like string, because, you know, I used to do macrame.
Yeah.
And I haven't touched it in over a year. And I'm like, I don't even need to keep, like, what should I do with this? Does Mia want it? She's not really into that
No.
anymore, is she?
She's not, and that's the problem. Like, they jump from phase to phase. So yeah, I bought her like a lot of macrame too, and we have a bin full of it, and I'm like, are you ever gonna do anything with this again? She's like, oh. We were thinking about having a garage sale, but there's so much work that goes into having a garage sale that it's like, ugh. And then
Oh my
trying to
gosh.
find a weekend that I'm off, it's just not very practical. And then it's too cold by the time I am off of work to do one. But I feel like you're kind of not in an area where a garage sale would benefit you very much.
No,
Becca.
I was just thinking like a lot of the stuff that I'm giving away is like very well curated, like boho, all that kind of stuff. Because I have
Yeah.
like, you know, a few baskets that weren't really like in style with my wall and, you know, cool things. And I could go through the effort of trying to sell them on Marketplace maybe, but then I have to arrange people to come, and then there's
It's a
this,
lot.
there's that. And Marketplace, I had like a weird experience with Marketplace. I sold a gazebo. I bought a gazebo from someone on Marketplace. They told me it was in perfect condition. And then I never used it, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to sell it, which was out of character. But Daniel pretty much forced me to do it, so I was like, fine. So I opened it up to take pictures of it, and it was not in perfect condition.
Oh no.
Yeah, there was like a couple rips. Like, it wasn't a big deal, but like, I don't know, there's this and that. And I stated there are these imperfections, and I don't know where the hardware is, so you're gonna have to go get new hardware. Here's the price. And it's not hard to get hardware. It's just some like long screws, you know, just go to Ace. And I disclosed all of this, and people come pick it up. They send me the money, and then they message me a few hours later, and they're like, I can't even put up this gazebo. I just wasted X amount of money. And I'm like, I clearly said to you in a message and on the listing that these things are a thing, and I want you to know that. And then you still have the audacity to message me and tell me that you just wasted, like, I was like, should I give them a refund? No, I'm not gonna give them a refund.
No.
Like, you know what I mean?
Was there maybe like a language barrier or no?
No.
Well, then they just weren't paying attention and they weren't reading it, and that's not your fault.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. It just like makes me feel icky to have just to
Yeah.
be in that situation. I'm like, ooh. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's your foreshowing, because someone's assuming you're this type of person and you know you're not, and you want them to understand that, like, no, this isn't who I am. Like, you might think that like
Yeah.
tried to scam you, but yeah.
Yeah, I would literally never try to scam someone. Like, why?
No. Facebook Marketplace, I just feel like it's just so, most of the time it's just so flaky. People are like, yeah, and then like they just never get in contact with you again, and it's just like, this is so much to manage to try to like figure this out with another human.
Yeah.
OfferUp is starting to be like that too. I used to use OfferUp a lot, and it's just a lot of people, like, you post something for like $50 and you say firm on price, and they're like, I'll give you 10. I was like, stop wasting my time. You know?
Yeah. Firm on price. I say it again.
Firm.
Yeah. It's a mess. And now Facebook Marketplace has the whole like shipping capabilities. So it's like when you're looking on there, you'll see something you like, and then it's like located in Maryland. I'm like, no. I don't want that. And when you're just on the general marketplace homepage, I don't see an option to look at only local listings, because they want you to use it as like an e-commerce.
Oh, that sucks.
But like when you search for something specifically, you can narrow it down to local. But just in general, looking at the page, because I do that sometimes, you know, you know, I'll see things, I'm like, oh, that's so cool, and then it's located in Texas. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not paying to get this bed frame shipped. Like, why is this even an option? And I feel like half the time people don't even know that they did that. So then you ask, and they're like, oh, I don't want to ship this. You know what I mean? Because they just, anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You alluded to some rearranging that we haven't discussed.
Yeah, what's going on in your
Did you
living
say
room?
Wow.
you arranged-
Yeah, I just, well, okay, I didn't like rearrange, I guess. I just moved some baskets to the lower part of my, okay, I'm just trying to like make my house look more visually appealing. And like I had baskets on my TV stand. They were all on different sections. Now they're all on the bottom, and it just looks so much better. I'm like, wow, something that's simple. You know, the blankets off the floor. I had just like a huge lamp in the corner. I don't know. My house is open concept in quotation marks. Like, it is open concept, but they're still very sectioned off. And like each little section is kind of small. Because you guys have been in my house, so you kind of know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Like my living room, yeah, you can see into the kitchen and everything, but it's a small area, and it's kind of like, I don't know. See, moments like this, I'm like, okay, I'm glad this isn't our forever home. And then I have moments where I'm like, no, this has to be our forever home. I love it. But I don't like the house. Like, our house, I don't like it. I've always
You don't like
liked
the layout, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it's unique and everything, but it's just confusing, like, to decorate it, and it's not laid out like a regular house. So it's just confusing. But then, like, the land is so beautiful. So I'm like, can we just knock down the house and start over? And Dan's like, what? No. Like, no, we can't do that, Becca. I'm like, okay, can we though? I don't know. It's just,
I wonder if you knocked out the kitchen pantry and the stairs, if you can reconfigure it to be more of a square open concept downstairs. But then I don't know. Like, I'm not sure. The foundation probably would be like, yeah, no, that's not feasible.
yeah, I'm confused about how to make it better. My grandma suggested, you know, the downstairs bedroom. She suggested knocking down the wall that the fireplace is on and like flipping the fireplace around so that it's kind of like open, and turning that into our living room, and like reconfiguring the entire first floor. And I was like, oh, that could work. And then making the current living room the dining room, and then expanding the kitchen.
No, that might be a good idea,
Oh,
because you don't
yeah.
really need 3 bedrooms.
Well, we'd probably
Like-
add on a bedroom upstairs.
Oh, you would? Okay.
Because if
Just
this
to
is
make
going to
it-
be like our forever home, we want 4 bedrooms. So we'd have to add
Okay.
on 2 bedrooms upstairs. So like, I don't even know if that makes sense. You know, it's just, it might be too much to put on this old house because it's not a new build. So
Yeah. The land is so pretty, though.
The land is so perfect. It's exactly what I would have wanted. You know, it has a little dry creek and little wooded area. We have pasture. It's just perfect, but it's isolated. But, you know, at the end of the day. Okay, anyway, I'm talking so much. Clearly, I've been alone all week. Like, I have not talked to anybody. Wow, it's really showing.
Well, I would just like to say really quickly before we move on to Adam's week, I love your house. I think the reason I love it so much is because it is different. Like, it's not like that cookie cutter, like you walk in and be like, oh yeah, okay, you did this, you know? So I happen to love it. I think the only thing that I wouldn't like if I was there is the lack of light, because you do it is pretty low light in your house.
Yeah.
But that also benefits in other ways. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like it kind of balances itself out.
Yeah, it's so dark. And like if our living room, if we turned that room downstairs into the living room, it's so bright in there, and like it would be great, you know. But yeah, it is so dark. That's definitely my con of living here. But okay. Adam, please talk so that I stop.
Take the mic.
You.
Oh my gosh. You know, it's been a pretty uneventful week. Although, if you guys notice, Knot Dude
man bun's
got
back.
a little top knot.
Knot Dude has a knot.
I usually do my man bun like in the back center of my head,
Okay.
and I've decided to move it more forward to the top. Inspo by De La Plants,
It's cute.
but it's so much easier. Like I can sit on the couch at night and lean my head back.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
What was I missing the whole time? Before I would just like have to like rest on my like little man bun, and now I don't have to. Yeah.
You know what? I think that's what I'm not liking about my short hair is that I can't put it up that high without a few like stragglers falling in the back.
Yeah.
So I have it back in a ponytail like I have now, but then like when I drive, I lean my head back, and it's just like the most annoying thing for me.
I was gonna say in the car, like if I have my hair in like anything other than a high ponytail, I'm like, I can't do this. I need to lean my head back. I can't.
Yeah.
Looks good
I'm
though.
just gonna rat Becca out right now. Remember when she talked about not liking that she was eating on a podcast, and she keeps muting her microphone so she can eat her Chex Mix.
Okay, I'm called out. Okay. I won't mute it then.
Adam's looking forward to this episode so much.
That's some ASMR for
man.
you guys. I'm gonna mute it for all of our sake.
Yeah.
Except Adam's.
But yeah, I tried to go on a bike ride this week, and I went and like filled up my bike tires with the air compressor, and then it was just like psst.
Oh no.
So I was like, well, son of a bee. I couldn't go on a bike ride that day, so I went on a walk instead of a bike ride, because it was just one of those things that I just like needed to get out of the house. Like for my mentality, I just needed to just go somewhere.
What's the temperature down there? I haven't been keeping up.
Well, you know, it actually wasn't much different than Illinois this last week.
Really?
Yeah,
So it's
right now
getting kinda
it's
chilly.
72.
Oh, nice. So that feels like 60s.
Yeah, so it's like perfect temperature to like just be outside and walking around and doing stuff.
Yeah.
So then yesterday I decided after work, I was like, you know what? I'm going to replace my bike tire. So I did that, and I felt so masculine. I was like, ooh, look at me.
Yes.
Replacing tires.
Unmuting to laugh and muting again.
And Becca, you're muted for us now. Someone...
It's too much to keep up with. I just want to eat.
It's not helping your anxiety situation.
I said I'm unmuting to laugh, and then I remuted it.
Okay.
Muting again.
I
Game
just
off.
want to eat.
Game on. But yeah, so then I replaced my bike tire. Then we went on a bike ride last night, so that felt good. I want to try to do that like daily. I need to get out of the house, because honestly, working at home and just being home, I am a homebody, but when it's like a whole week of never leaving your home,
Yeah.
it just really weighs on me. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, even like you have to, like, I feel like it's the same thing with me. Like I could probably stay home all week and be totally fine, but the couple of weddings I have a month, or the few weddings I have a month, while I dread having to go to work for that long, it really helps me mentally too, because I'm getting out of the house, or even going to the grocery store. You know?
Yeah.
I love bike riding, so that's awesome that you're doing that. I need to fix my bike too.
Yeah, bikes are fun. Like, it also doesn't feel like it's really exercise.
Till you
think that's why I
stop,
like
though,
it.
and then you're sweating profusely. Or is that just me?
Well, I mean, in the summer I would be sweating. I don't know. I don't push it too hard though. I kind of feel like I should push it harder.
Oh, you
'Cause
kind
I
of
could
just
go
like
on a
cruise with it.
10-mile bike ride and not be tired. But I
Oh,
feel like I
God.
need to just like push myself. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's about it.
Wait, I have a comment about the bike.
Yeah.
I'm stopping the eating just for a moment.
She's storing
like
it
a
in her
little
cheek like a chipmunk.
I know. I literally have nuts in my cheeks right now. I'm holding them there so I can speak. Okay. When I used to ride my bike a lot as like my mode of transportation when I was in college, and I wanted to go on a long ride, I would just pick somewhere really fun and be like, all right, I'm gonna freaking ride my bike there, no matter how long it was. Never more than like 5 miles, but you should do that, Adam. Like, find like a coffee shop or just something and just freaking go.
Yes.
That's a good idea,
That's a
because
good
then you
motivator.
have to ride back.
Yeah. So 5 miles
Yeah.
there, 5 miles back. There you go. You're 10 miles.
I sort of did that when I first moved here. I was like, I wanted to go to Whataburger, even though like I'm not even, hot take, something brave yet controversial, I don't like Whataburger.
You don't? I've never had it.
I don't get the hype. I mean, anyway, so it was like July. It was the end of July. It was August. Hot AF.
Ooh.
And I was like, I'm going to ride to Whataburger because I was like, oh, like I was a newbie Arizonian. Anyway, it was like an 11-mile one-way ride. And it was like 120 degrees out. I literally got there and I could barely walk into Whataburger to get my food. Like, my legs were shaking. I was just like huffing.
Maybe
I was
that's
like-
why you didn't like it.
I was like, what the hell did I just do to myself? I have had it other times.
Okay.
I just don't get the hype with it. I don't know.
Yeah. I've never tried it. I think we have one out here, though.
Do you?
Maybe not Palatine, but I think we do. Unless
Yeah.
the one I saw was in Arizona. I can't remember, but is there a lot of hype around it, though? I haven't heard anything about it.
Well, I think it's just because it's one of those things like In-N-Out Burger where there's only in specific locations. I
Oh,
think they're
okay.
expanding more and more now, but I guess that makes it like feel more special. Mm-hmm. But I'd prefer In-N-Out. Actually, I prefer Culver's if I'm gonna be 100%
Culver's.
honest.
Really?
Yum.
Oh my gosh!
Culver's
yes.
is delicious.
Culver's? I wonder if there's a Culver's here. I haven't had it in so long. We used to do fundraisers there all the time, so it's kind of gross to me now. But
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
I didn't have In-N-Out when I visited, but I wonder if it still is good. Because I went to EG's. You guys are fucking liars. EG's is disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh, Adam, you're not supposed to agree. I feel so much worse.
But I didn't think it was disgusting. Maybe I just played into you loving it so much, and I was like, oh yeah, this is real good.
Koopy, you're all dirty.
But I thought it was yummy.
It was
Yeah,
like
the drinks were
okay,
delicious.
The
and
drinks
the ranch
are
is
good.
really good.
Everything else, the food, gross. I had fries there. No, get down off the couch. You guys are dirty and stinky.
You're gonna get canceled by all your Tucson family. And
I know,
friends.
but like, you guys move away and then eat it, and it's not that good anymore. Believe me, I was EG's #1 hype girl. I literally always went there, like multiple times a week. Hey, don't get on the couch. Sorry, my
They name a
dogs.
sandwich after you.
My dogs stink really bad, and they're trying to get all over the couch. Okay.
Aw.
Oh, can you guys please fuck off? You stink. You know how your dogs smell when they come inside?
Yeah.
I feel
What
like
is
you-
that about?
I
Why
feel
do
like
they
you
smell
and
like
Daniel
that?
are more sensitive to the outside smell.
I'm not. He is, though.
She walked away from the mic, but she said, I am not. He is, though.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Dan is the one that pointed out to me. I never noticed. It's like the mouth sound, like when you smile, how your mouth makes a sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Daniel specifically told me never to tell anybody else that. He's like, you're going to ruin it for so many people, but I just ruined it for everyone who listens. Next time you smile with your teeth, just take a listen. It makes a sound.
It does. Ew. Why?
Nicole,
although mouth sounds don't bother me, though. I mean, if you couldn't tell by now.
I know, but Nicole, you're never going to unhear it. You're always going to notice it. When people smile at you, you will always notice it from now on.
I love that, being a photographer. Thank you. I have a wedding tomorrow, and I'm going to text you guys every time someone smiles. Like,
you did this.
This is bullshit.
Loudest smile ever.
Loudest smile.
But yeah, I don't know what we were talking about, but I think I'm done.
EGs.
Bike.
Oh, yeah,
Becca getting canceled.
Yeah.
Adam riding his bike and
Yes.
feeling masculine because he changed a tire.
Yeah. Oh, I felt like I was just like, look, I could start a fire right now, like taking back to caveman times. Like, I got this. No big deal. Still can't eat things off of bones, so that's going to be
can't.
tough.
Yeah.
Can't be a caveman then.
Don't love my hands being dirty, so can't eat like wings or ribs. Like, I need utensils, but we'll figure it out.
You can invent
We'll
them.
get there. Yeah. Ooh. I wonder, I sometimes think, like, shouldn't there be, like, a new utensil? Like, a new design? Let's just, like, reinvent some things. I don't know.
Yeah.
What
that's a
if,
good
like,
idea.
one side's a fork, one side's a spoon? Like, you just, like, flip it instead of a spork?
I think think that they have that. They might have that already.
Well, sporks are pointless. Like, it's like an alternative.
Yeah.
One last thing. Steve and I were driving to Target the other day, and it's a full moon. It's so cool to see the full moon. Like, I just love it.
Ooh.
But then I got to thinking, sometimes, when you get into those, like, deep, like, what the heck? I was thinking, like, whenever the moon is full, we always just see the one side of the moon. So the Earth is rotating, and the Earth is in an orbit, and the moon is in orbit around the Earth, but only one side shows. Like, what the hell's on the other side? I know dark side of the moon, but, like, don't you think the moon should be spinning too? Like, I just don't understand that. I never thought about it until this week, and I was like, why doesn't the moon spin?
It doesn't? Like, on an axis? Maybe it doesn't spin on an axis?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out, because it's always whenever there's a full moon, you're seeing like the face, the craters that kind of look like a face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the part of the moon we always see no matter what. That's always facing the sun. So it's like the Earth is going around the sun, but the Earth is spinning, but we're always just seeing one side of the moon.
Well, maybe we only see that one side of the moon because it's at night, and that's the only time we can see the moon, because the moon's always there. So maybe the other side is facing us during the day?
No.
I don't know.
You know what's
Also, it just...
Oh, sorry. No,
you
go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, it's just weird that there's this giant rock in the sky that is illuminated by the sun, and that's why we call the moon. And, like, how did it get there? And why is that the only one there? And what if we had another moon? Like, I was just like, I wasn't even high. Like, this was literally just stone sober. Like, what is going on with the moon?
That was going to be my next question. How much exactly did you smoke before you started having these thoughts, Adam? But that's so funny. I'll go down those, like, rabbit hole thoughts often. It's usually at night when Jay's watching the damn Science Channel. But, like, I'll have these, like, these alien thoughts, and I'm just like, Mars. Like, we've never been there. Like, all these, like, random...
Except we have been to Mars.
Yeah.
The Mars
No,
rover.
like... No, I mean, like, human beings.
Okay. Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I have those rabbit hole thoughts too, and it makes me question my existence. So I don't like to have them.
Yeah. Oh, God. Well, okay, the question that I was going to ask is how do they see in space? You know, headlights aren't really going to do anything.
No. It's just like if the sun illuminates it, that's the only way.
Like, honestly, like, yeah. How are they seeing? Because imagine, like, driving your car in the dark with no headlights. Is that what it's like to drive in space?
You're hitting a lot of raccoon. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Not again.
Lots of space junk. Yeah, literally every episode. Oh, my God. We did not go one episode without it.
Sorry.
Also, like the fact that there was a meteor or an asteroid that came very close to the Earth, and NASA didn't know about it because it was
No.
coming to us from the direction of the sun. So they didn't know that it existed until a day after. This thing was huge. It went by Florida. It shook houses. And I'm just like, I have been living under this like guise of, you know, NASA's going to alert us. Like if we have an Armageddon situation, they're going to alert us and we'll know about it. And they're like, yeah, we didn't even know about this asteroid because it was hiding in the sun's light and it blinded us.
Awesome.
Okay. I can't talk about this because every single time I'm convinced that this is how the world's going to be taken out is by an asteroid. Like 100%. You can't convince me otherwise because I watch entirely too much like end of the world movies, Deep Impact, Armageddon, all of it. And I will have nightmares tonight because of this conversation.
Oh, dear.
I have a phobia of asteroids, but you know, like those ones that
I think everybody does.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's like, ooh, I love an asteroid smashing into Earth.
no, but even watching them fly across the sky, like I watched footage of that happening, and I'm like, I would have had a full-blown heart attack. Like I would not be here right now if I was to witness something happening like that, because I'd be convinced it's going to hit, and then this tidal wave is just going to come and just take us all out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's how it's gonna. That's
yeah.
how it's gonna happen, guys. I don't know if it's gonna be quick. I can't guarantee that. This podcast got real dark 39 minutes in. You might want to put a timestamp on it.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that's
At
pretty
least-
bad.
At least you're in the Midwest, so if like the tidal waves come, you know,
Oh,
it may not reach you. Who knows?
it'll reach. It'll reach.
Yeah, I think it'll reach. We'll have a beach. We will have a beach. Ooh.
Yeah. Oof.
Also, did you guys know that Canada is like a massive country? I'm sorry, I had to say it. Someone had to say it. Canada is huge.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
It is really big. I was doing some trivia. It said like what's the largest country by land mass or something, and I think Canada was up there. I was like, it doesn't seem like that. For some reason, I thought that we would be the same size. We're not.
No, we're not.
Yeah, just because it's like right above us, you'd think that it'd be like similar in size.
Yeah.
But I know nothing about
I think
geography, so I'm not gonna pretend I do.
I think there's a lot of messy stuff with geography, like making the map, like depending on where you grew up. You know, because when we look at the map, we're always going to look at the United States, look at it from like our perspective. But when you grow up in another place, like the map is oriented differently because you don't care about the United States.
Yeah.
You care about where your country is. I don't know. Hey. Just another strange thought. Like, what would be like high thoughts, but you're not high, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shower
That's a good-
thoughts.
Shower
That's a
thoughts.
good
Shower
podcast
thoughts.
episode.
One
Yeah.
last thing on this whole thing. I'm going to out myself here. I'm gay. No.
Yeah, way.
Have you seen that Rosa episode, that like TikTok Rosa, where she's like, "Dude, come here, you're gay." Oh, I knew it.
I
you
fucking
seen
knew
that?
it.
I fucking knew it. You always
No,
look
I
around
haven't seen
and
that
shit.
one.
So I've flown to Europe quite a few times, and I think both times, well, quite a few, twice. Who the hell am I? Both times I flew from Chicago to England, right? And I don't love flying, but I also really need to like see where I am on a map on an airplane. So I kind of love when you can like see your flight path. And like I do it even on like Southwest app when I'm on Southwest. I'm like flight tracker, just like watching it the whole time. But when I would fly to England, and I'm sure you've experienced this too, Becca, but like your flight path like flies up over Greenland. So you're looking at it on a screen and it's kind of like an upside down U or like a lowercase n. You kind of fly over by Greenland, Iceland, and then over to England. And the whole time, until it was probably a few months ago, I was like, oh, that's because, if there's an emergency, we can land on land. We don't want to be over the ocean. And then I realized, no, the Earth isn't fucking flat, and that's why it's shaped like that. We're flying in a straight line, but on my flat screen, it's curved. And the whole time I was like, oh, they want to fly over land just so we can make an emergency landing, and they don't give a shit about that.
Very
I felt so dumb.
No, I would have totally thought the same thing.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but when you like
'Cause
look
visually,
at the map,
that's what you're seeing.
yeah. Okay, whenever I look at that thing, I try not to look at it honestly until I know that we're above ground, because when I click it and it's just ocean underneath, I'm like, oh fuck, okay, don't look at that, like, cause you're gonna die if you fall. Okay, we're not a strong swimmer.
Did you?
Oh, bless you for thinking you're going to survive impact.
If I did,
For some reason,
it wouldn't go well.
For some reason, I feel like landing on water in my head would be better than landing on land in a plane crash, because it's like, well, maybe you could just slide across the water. Maybe it would turn into a submarine right away, and you just kind of float there for a little bit, and then.
Oh god. Okay.
But
what
also,
kind of magic school bus shit is going on?
Yeah,
in your
like
head?
what's going on? Like if the plane sinks, it's gonna take you with it. You're gonna get sucked down with it, like the Titanic.
yeah.
You just swim away, and then you're just treading water, like hoping for plane debris, somebody's suitcase. Like you're gonna die. You're gonna die, sweetie. It's not going well.
Did you research the Malaysian airline that went down? Did you do that after that episode?
No. Oh, okay. And
Maybe don't.
And I'm not going to, because I'm going to be getting on a plane next week, so I'm just not going to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, in my anxious thoughts, sorry, I'm just talking so much. Whatever. I woke up in the middle of the night. My stomach was in knots. I was really nauseous. It was just because I was anxious. And, but I was like, oh my God, do I have COVID? Like, I'm not going to be able to go on the plane to Hawaii. Like, they're not going to let me in because I have COVID. And I got really anxious, and I was like, is nausea a symptom of COVID-19? I'm like, why am I Googling this? I literally have a stomachache because I'm anxious right now, but I'm still like Googling it. I'm like, oh, I hate myself.
Oh gosh. No, I would probably think the same thing. Did you know that if you Google something, you'll always find like what
Worst
you're looking
case.
for? Like if you're convinced that you have COVID because you have a stomach ache, the internet will tell you do. Like you'll find it. You'll find that.
Is that confirmation bias? Is that what that is?
Yeah, I think so.
Yikes. Okay.
Okay, Nicole, how's your week been? 40 minutes into this podcast.
It's been great. So on to the topic. I haven't really done much of anything, really. Like, I'm trying to think. Jay went out of town on Tuesday, so I slept like crap the past couple of days. I'm not sure what that's about. I was telling Adam I think that there's too much space in the bed, even though I complain on a daily basis that we need to get a king-size bed because I can't, like, we're not snugglers at all. TMI. Doesn't happen. I need, like, to be able to breathe. So, like, let's get a king bed. We both always sleep so well when we stay in, like, a hotel, you know? Mm-hmm. But our room is small. We don't have space for a king. So that dream got shot to shit. But I'm like, why am I sleeping like crap when I have this whole bed to myself?
Maybe it's because
I don't know
your door's not closed. That's probably why.
Oh my God, I closed my door to change into PJs. Was it last night? Yeah. And I got in bed without opening it. And as soon as I lay down, I was like, oh my God, the door's closed. I have to open it because I feel claustrophobic.
You're so strange. That's so funny.
Anyway, So, yeah, I'm trying to get some shit done. I had some sessions. The weather kind of screwed me up for some sessions this week, but that's okay. That's an ongoing battle that I'm never going to win. If I had one superpower, it would be to control the weather. As long as I'm in this profession, I hate it. It's just so annoying.
Do you guys have fall colors happening?
Yeah, they're starting to change.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's jacket season, it's hoodie season.
Very
It's very pretty.
exciting.
It's very pretty. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Not much going on over here. So I guess we could get into the topic 47 minutes in.
Will you remind us all what we're talking about?
We're talking about our plans for our plants this season. Hold on one second. What the fuck is that? Okay, it just stopped. The entire house was shaking.
It's an asteroid, Nicole.
Oh,
Stop.
earthquake?
No, I think Ted was making a smoothie. Anyway.
What the hell is he making it with?
I don't
Cement
know.
mixer.
A sledgehammer. Our plans for our plants this season.
I have whiplash.
I mean, it's just, you're like, what the hell is that? And you're like, I think Ted's making a smoothie. It's causing the whole house to shake. Like, what?
I don't know. It was. I literally felt, it was like, you might hear it in the audio. Okay.
Plant plans.
Plant plans. Let's talk about it. So, I think, in prepping for the season change, I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling like getting rid of a lot of plants. Like, I think my main goal for this season is to have my entire collection, whatever amount that may be. I don't really care how many plants it is, but I want them all to fit comfortably on my shelves in my kitchen. Like, I don't know if it's the fact that I'm in a house with other people that are not necessarily plant people, but I kind of just want my collection to be a collection together, you know, like I don't want plants all over the house. And bringing plants inside for this season has really like made me look at my whole collection thinking like, okay, I don't necessarily love this plant anymore. Let me see if somebody wants it type thing. And I'm realizing that I might need some more grow lights too, because I don't think that I think that they could benefit from another set of grow lights. Currently, I only have one set. Do you have two on your shelves, Adam?
Yeah.
Do you have one light per shelf or
no,
two?
I have two per shelf.
Okay. I think I'm going to get another set.
Yeah.
So definitely more light is in my plans for sure. Another thing that's kind of strange is that I'm kind of veering off of leca. Like I'm finding myself repotting plants that are too big for the pots just into soil. Are you kind of having that same thing go on by you?
You know, not for my Hoyas. Like I don't think I'll ever, the ones that I have in leca, I don't think I'll ever take the out of leca. Just because I've found ways to, I guess, I don't know. What am I trying to say? I use wicking cords now because I did find like a lot of the time, because I would keep the bottom third of the net pot saturated with water, I would just find that like the roots rotted, which is to be expected in passive hydro. Yeah. But I didn't love it, you know. I didn't love seeing that happen. So I started using wicking cords and not having saturating my leca, like not having it sit in water, and that's been helpful. But a while ago, I decided to never do an aeroid in leca again because the roots are wild with those things. And in Syngonium too. Like I had my Albo Syngonium in leca and immediately was like, nope, this has to go in soil, because like the roots are just so substantial on most aeroids. Like they just don't stop. So
yeah, that's pretty much I think why I'm leaning more towards soil for most of my plants. I do have a majority of my Hoya still in leca. My obovata, my Shepherdii, the roots grew straight through the net pot, like quickly too, like to the point where I had to cut some off repotting, or I mean, I just lost them trying to pull it through the net pot. But I'm thinking that once those roots like fill out the pot again, I might just move it to soil. I am a little worried though, because I do feel like I have a good system with my Hoya with leca, which I'm sure you do too. But I don't know. I just don't want to have to deal with that, with like the roots growing all crazy. My Syngonium, I think I lost like 3/4 of the roots on that because it was literally coiled all the way. I don't know why I didn't take a picture of it. I wish I had, but it was horrible. Like I lost most of the roots on that. So I just put it into soil. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I'm content having smaller plants too. I'm noticing like some of my plants are getting much bigger in size, and obviously it's like, well, once your plants get big, you need a spot for your plants, and like I just don't have many spots for giant plants, so I'm just like, let's keep them tiny.
Yeah,
which I'm fine with. Propagation and whatnot.
I kind of feel like I'm in the same boat as you. And I don't know, I always get into that mindset whenever I am like leaving on a vacation and I need to water everything and just make sure everything's saturated. And I'm just like, okay, I have too many plants. Like at one point in this whole journey, I would have been like, there's no such thing as too many plants. But now I feel like there is such a thing as too many plants. And some of them I'm keeping because there's like an emotional attachment, but not like an emotional attachment about the plant, just like at a moment in life when I got that plant, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't love that about myself because I'm just like, okay, I don't need to attach these like emotions onto these plants. But yeah, I don't know. A part of my issue though is like some of the Hoya I want to give away are pretty mature, but they're in leca. And I don't, like I would just rather just give the whole pot leca plant to somebody. But then some people who don't do leca are going to be like, what the heck do I do with this now?
Yeah.
So then maybe it's just like I need to just chop it all down and propagate every piece and sell it.
Yeah, and let them decide what medium they want to use.
Yeah.
It is hard too if you don't. I mean, it's not hard caring for a plant in leca, but it's hard when you need certain, nutrients. And if you just have one plant in leca, it's almost like it's a little bit much.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's why I never switched to leca, because I didn't want to convert all of my plants, and like it's a lot of money to invest to only use it sometimes.
I don't go through the drastic temperature changes that you guys do though, so it's like, I don't have to move things away from the window. Like I feel lucky in that aspect of like everything kind of just exists the same all year round for me.
Yeah.
I thought about that not that long ago when I was bringing plants in. I was like, oh, well, normally like I would have my shelves up against a window, like, because you want to benefit from the most light as you possibly can. Well, in this house, there really wasn't that option because we had sliding glass doors. So we couldn't put the shelves in front of the doors. But now I'm realizing, well, I guess this is better in the winter because now I don't have to worry about drafts or like moving my plants away from the window.
Yeah.
They're already on a middle wall, which is pretty nice.
Last year I had really bad windows last year, if we all remember, and I didn't move my plants away, and nobody really suffered, thank God. So I think with my new windows, they'll definitely be fine. So I'm probably not going to do that, but I have plants that have been outside, like tropicals, and it's gotten down into like the 40s, and they're still out there, and they're fine. I know,
they
it's a
usually
gamble.
They usually won't show signs of stress unless it's like frost, like the first frost.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, they're not gonna benefit from being in 30-degree weather or 40-degree weather, obviously, for the long period that we're going to be in that for.
Yeah.
but they really won't die until that first frost.
Okay. See,
Which can come quick though.
Yeah.
Like it could come overnight and kill everything. So not to
Yeah.
freak you out, not to make you nervous. But
I'm being a bit
Yeah. Like
I'm
an
being a bit
asteroid, it
reckless.
could just surprise you.
at any moment. At any moment.
Kills
An
everything.
asteroid. Take all the life from Earth. Yeah, I'm being a bit risky. And I actually did plan on bringing it in a lot sooner. But then the temperature just went right back up. And then it was in like the 60s that night again. And I was like, well, I'm not going to like put myself through that stress right now if I don't have to. So I just waited. And they're still out there. So I'm probably going to move them in maybe this weekend. But then that's the process of like, oh, where am I going to put them? And I have to find a spot. And so I'm probably also okay. But like, as we talked about the last time we recorded with selling plants, I don't want to sell my plants online. Like, I wish that I could honestly throw them away. Like, I don't know. I know that's like not the thing to do. But I'm like, I don't really want to hold on to these. And I also don't want to go through the trouble of like selling them and meeting up with someone or shipping them or blah, blah, blah. And so that kind of informs my plant purchasing as well. Because if I don't want to go through the process of getting rid of them, then I shouldn't be buying them.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I think that it needs to be an okay thing for us to be able to throw away a plant and not feel bad about it.
Yeah,
I really
agree.
do. Like,
Yep.
I think that if, like this, this fucking plant that I stare at every week that Tia doesn't take care of, has this dead leaf that's been hanging here for literally 3 weeks. There's no water in this. I have no clue how this bamboo. I'll put a picture in stories for everyone to see on Instagram.
It looks
But,
really
like,
healthy though.
Yeah, it looks great.
I don't know. I want to throw it in the garbage because I don't like it, but it's whatever. Anyway, that's not the point I was trying to make. It's been bothering me. But I think that the plant community and plant society makes us feel guilty for throwing away a plant when that really shouldn't be the case. I think that if something's not making you happy and you don't want to stress yourself out more by having to try to sell it online or even trying to give away a plant, because it's not as easy as it sounds. Because if you want to give a plant to someone, you still have to post it. You still have to have a conversation with that person. And I mean, I'm really poo-pooing the situation, but it is what it is. Like, if you're in that state of mind where you just don't want to deal with it, then just throw it in the garbage.
Yeah.
You know?
See,
come for me.
It comes back to that first conversation with all of the stuff, you know? Why? Yeah. Why are we holding on to these things? You know, there's this plant that I was holding on to because my grandma gave it to me, and I don't really care for it. I just was like, oh, well, it's sentimental because my grandma gave it to me. And she was here the other week, and she's like, oh, what's that plant? She didn't even remember. So I'm like,
oh, shit.
Okay, permission to get rid of it? Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, she doesn't even remember. Like, I feel like I attach all this sentiment to nothing for no reason, and like no one else is even thinking about it, you know? And like, what's it going to mean to them if they found out that I stressed myself out to keep this thing that they gave me 20 years ago, you know?
20 minutes away, under $20.
Yeah, I mean, you can always use my trick of like toss the plant right before you're taking the trash out. So then you just close up the trash bag and you just don't even think about it.
Exactly. That's a great tip. That is a hot tip if I've ever heard one.
But yeah, I do think we should normalize that, because if you're the one who spent the money on it, you can do what you want. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like people should make others feel bad. Do what you want. I just don't feel like you should.
Yeah.
You know, judge somebody if they decide to throw away the plant. They no longer brings them joy, no longer fills them with good emotions. Like, just toss it.
Right.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you were in the headspace of wanting to share your plants, then you would do it, you know, like you would do it. But I feel like we all go through these seasons of life where we're just like, I can't deal with this right now.
Yeah.
And it's giving me anxiety being here, looking at it every day, and me not wanting to take care of it it's going to give me anxiety by having to have a conversation with a stranger to take time out of my day to take it to them. So
yeah,
I'm just going to throw this in the trash.
100%. I needed that permission. Yeah.
Yeah, you do that, Becca. But wait, tell me what you're throwing away first, because I might want something. Okay, thanks.
Probably nothing that special. I mean, I just have like a lot of like little pots of things, and I'm like, I don't care about this. Like,
yeah,
I don't know why I kept this. Looking through my closet earlier, just with like the stuff, I was like, how did I didn't even want this when I was living in Tucson. How did it survive a move and a year in my new house? Literally, what the freak am I doing? Like, why am I like that? And I don't want to be like that, especially with my plants, because it's like I have a small space to put them, and I want it, like Nicole, I want my collection to be more, I don't know, refined, manageable,
aesthetically pleasing.
Aesthetically pleasing. Yeah, I think like perhaps we're entering into a stage of plant parenthood where we don't need to consume literally every plant, because we've been doing this for a while now. And now it's more about just curating a space that feels planty in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I went through that journey just moving here and realizing like, okay, well, the plants that do well, like that's when I realized that I didn't want to have to create an environment for plants. I think my whole plant journey, I've always been the person of like, not that I have any shade to anyone who does this, but I don't want to have like a zipped up greenhouse in my living room where all of these like really finicky plants have to live, but I can't see them unless I unzip the greenhouse. And like, I don't want to do that. Like, that's not the kind of plant parent I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And, moving to Arizona made me switch to Hoyas, which I love. And I do have quite a few Hoya, but like now that they've gotten big, like they're not organized neatly or nicely or like aesthetically pleasing. It's just like I have a random shelf in the middle of my front living room with a bunch of plants on it because that's where I was quarantining the ones that I was spraying for mites.
Yeah.
But now that everything's good, they're still sitting there because I don't have places to put them. So now I'm just like, I don't know. I need to do some major just like paring down, reorganizing, because like you, Becca, I don't love clutter, and I just feel like I'm living in clutter. I'm living in clutter with like personal items in my house and also plants. Like I have a lot of plant clutter around.
Yeah. Plant supplies is also another thing that's really easy to just keep getting more of. And I'm so guilty of that. I have so many saucers, so many pots, so many, like all my supplies from moss poles when I used to do moss poles, like, and I just have it and I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, I had a bunch outside, and we'll talk about the boxes again. My mom took like all of these planters and saucers that I had from plants that just died over the summer, or I repotted and, up potted or whatever. And she put the saucers in the pots in a box in a shed in the back. And I was like, where did all those pots go? And she was like, oh, I put them in a box. And I was like, I will never use them. I will never see them. They're going to crack in the winter. They're going to be spiders' homes.
Yeah.
Let's get them out of the box. But I have so many too. And I was just kind of like, okay, I don't want this one. Don't want this one. I just like, I threw out quite a bit just a few days ago.
Yeah.
So here's your permission to throw those out too, if you want.
Yeah. Instead of spring cleaning, it's fall cleaning before you hunker down for the winter. Like, make your space feel how you want it, and don't feel guilty about getting rid of things. And also, I feel like I should say, if something, okay, somebody was talking about this, like when you're donating things, if it's not something that you would pick up and buy, like if it's not functional, if it doesn't work, don't donate it, because Goodwill and other donation places are super overloaded with people just taking like literal trash to them. So don't give something to Goodwill just because you don't want it. Like, make sure it works, make sure it's functional and would make sense for someone to buy. Yeah. Like a broken TV, don't take that to Goodwill. There's no point. Like, take it to a recycling center for electronics, And I've been guilty of that because I just wanted it gone. I'm like, whatever, I'm sure someone will use it. But it's like, will they? Or is Goodwill just gonna
And
have
Goodwill
to...
makes it very easy to just pull up with boxes and to get rid of it, which is, it's a nice thing.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you don't want to create more work for someone else, for sure.
Yeah, which is so hard. It's just like, all the trash. It's just overwhelming sometimes. All the stuff.
Yeah.
Ugh, makes me not want to buy anything ever again. Everybody's getting hand-me-downs for Christmas.
Yeah.
The shit I don't want.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yikes for sure.
So I'd say all of our plans for the season change is to declutter and maybe do a little downsizing, maybe make our spaces a little bit more aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like we get this boost of energy with plants in the spring because everything's coming back to life in places where you have seasonal changes. You know, things are starting to grow again and the weather's changing and you feel so great. But how awesome would it be to get into that state now? Like to downsize now, get your space super comfortable and clean, and then go into spring with like, I have space for a few more plants if I want to buy some more plants, or like, you know, it would just be nice.
Ooh, that would be kind of a fun video, like going through all of our plant supplies and getting rid of, like, decluttering our plant supplies.
Oh, I kind of have to do that.
Me too. Does Adam need to
Adam's
do that?
like,
Oh, I'm sure I do. I have like 30 some terracotta pots, and like it's like stacks that are almost as tall as me of pots, just that, you know.
Like plastic pots from the nursery and everything?
Yes.
I think you might be able to donate them back to the nursery. I was wondering that too, because I have so many. I wonder if you could.
I do keep the smaller ones though, because sometimes that's what I propagate things in and sell or trade, etc. But yeah, you know, like the bottom shelf of all of my plant shelves is like full of like hydroponic stuff, like net pots, cash pose, and terracotta pots, and just like it's just everywhere. It is very stressful to look at too. Like I don't know.
we should do that.
We all
We
just
should
need a little
clean up.
Marie Kondo in our lives.
Yes,
Yeah.
Marie,
We need
my
a moment.
girl.
We need a moment to do that. Yeah.
Should that be our next video?
I'd be happy to make that our next video.
Okay.
If you guys are.
Decluttering our plant supplies.
I feel like we're kind of winding down because we're all just kind of looking at each other like, oh, what else do we talk about? But I guess, you know, Christmas is coming around the corner. Xmas is upon us. Like,
Yay.
that's another thing that usually helps me like get in like the decluttering mood, because when I like pull out the tree and have to move a bunch of stuff to put the tree down, I'm like, all right, we got to get rid of things.
Yeah.
So
yeah, true.
I don't know. I think this
Totally.
season, like this winter season, I want to focus on the plants that do really bring me joy. Because off the top of my head, I could name like 5 right now that I'm just like, I could care less about this plant. I'm still caring for it, but I really could care less about it. So
Yeah, me too.
give myself permission to get rid of things that don't sustain me or bring me joy, and curate plants. And obviously, and then we've said this before, but you'll be able to take care of those few plants that you keep better than you were, so like they will thrive, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we've made an episode about decluttering your plant collection. So maybe if this is really resonating with you and you haven't heard that episode, maybe go listen to that. I think all of us need to go listen to that episode. Do a little refresher course.
Yeah.
Because
We do.
Yeah, that's kind of what this has turned into.
Yeah.
Decluttering.
That's our
again.
plans for the season change.
Yeah, decluttering.
Is decluttering.
I mean, that really is my only plan. Like, other than decluttering, I want to like hang more plants up on like my balcony area, but like that's sort of a part of decluttering because I need to put them in a place so they're not just sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
And organize things. So yeah. I think that's probably going to be the end of the episode. So we don't have like, you know, when you're like leaving a party and you're like, okay,
Said bye 3 times.
Well, slap your legs. Well, that's what we're doing right now. Slapping our legs, saying
real quick before we peace out of this. I don't know if you guys saw my Instagram story, and it's okay if you didn't, but I ordered my birth certificate so I could have so I could have my correct rising sign, and it changed it.
I didn't know that you were born at 6 o'clock. So
on 6/6 at 6.
On 6/6.
I know.
So
that's
the
why
fact that you don't. That's why you don't like scary movies?
No, I was saying that's why I have a full head of hair to hide the mark of the beast that's on my scalp. My mom used to call me the Omen when I was younger, but I was kind of a brat, but like I don't think she was joking.
It's all for you, Damien. It's all for you.
So what
Anyway,
is your official...
I am an air sign down the ticket.
So what does that mean? Air sign?
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Well, okay, so I don't really know. So people smarter than me figured this out. But my ascendant sign is a Libra, which before I thought it was Cancer, but it's a Libra, apparently.
So what does that mean?
That's your sun, right? No.
No, that's the rising. So my rising is a Libra. So that's how you like appear to the world, you know?
Okay.
That's your mask that you have on. My sun sign is a Gemini because of when I was born. And my moon sign is Aquarius, which when someone's like, your air sign down the ticket, I was like, is Aquarius an air sign? Because I just assumed it was water sign. But no, apparently it's an air sign.
Oh.
So,
that's weird.
So you can appear and be the same sign?
Yeah.
You can what?
You can like appear to the world as the same sign that you actually are.
Yeah, I think so your rising sign, it just depends on location and time of birth. Date, location, and time.
Yeah.
So this is what CoStar says for ascendant sign or rising sign in Libra. It says your ascendant is the mask you present to people. It can be seen in your personal style and how you come off to people when you first meet. Some say it becomes less relevant as you get older. It changes every 2 hours. So if it doesn't make sense, reconfirm your birth time to be sure. And it says, my ascendant is in Libra, meaning you come across as compromising, courteous, and fair-minded, though sometimes passive-aggressive. You seem inclined towards balance in all forms, aesthetic, romantic, and judgment.
That sounds very accurate, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, the passive-aggressive, it stung a little bit, but I was like, yeah, I am a passive asshole sometimes.
Love to see it. Love to see some
I wonder what I am. Now I want to find out.
Just download CoStar. Yeah, and put in your stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
CoStar.
Okay, so my rising is Pisces, and I always felt like I was more like a Pisces, but that's literally just because that's how I act. Like when people meet me, that's like, but then your moon is like how you are when you're alone, right? Like in yourself.
Yeah.
Like my Virgo,
I don't know
my
too
moon
much.
is Virgo, which is like...
It says moon rules your emotions, moods, and feelings. This is likely the sign you most think of yourself as, since it reflects your personality when you're alone or deeply comfortable.
Yeah, okay. So mine definitely makes sense, honestly. But like when I'm at my worst, I know that I'm an Aries. I know I am. I'm horrible. Not that Aries are horrible, but you know?
Big Aries energy, bae.
I thought you just called me a bigot. I was like,
Oh my God.
I did look up and was like, he didn't say that.
Where's this episode going? All right, guys. Thanks so much for...
We have some emails, so let's go through at least one.
Oh, emails. Okay.
Because I don't want people... I'll pull it up.
Rewind. Okay. You're going to pull it up and read it?
Yeah. Okay, so one I just pulled up comes from Ahmed Warh. Sorry if I'm butchering your name, Ahmed. They say, sorry, I don't know. I have a question to submit. If you could go back to the beginning of your plant journey, what would you change? Which I think is a fitting question for this episode.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely fitting. I would for sure not collect so quickly. I've said that on my channel before. Like, I just collected really fast. I wanted to get a lot of plants as soon as I could. So I would bring home armfuls of plants all the time. And now that I'm at this stage, like a couple of years later, I'm like, oh, I wish that I would have left some of that excitement for later. Although with the plant prices right now, maybe I'm glad that I did it that way. But, you know, like on a consumerist level, I wish that I would have waited.
I think I would have gotten grow lights right away instead of waiting an entire year without any supplemental light for my plants. I lost cactus, and I'm sure I lost plants due to lack of light and just being an amateur, you know, not really knowing what I didn't know. So I think that that's what I would do. I would get grow lights like right away.
If I could go back to beginning, I think mine's a lot like Becca. I would go into big box stores almost like on a bi-weekly, well, actually a couple times a week basis, and just like anything I saw that I had never seen before, I was like, I have to buy it. And I collected so many plants so quickly and didn't really understand how to care for them. And I think I would have just slowed down and not let the consumerism take over and buy.
Yeah.
I think we're all influenced by, you know, when you first get into plant collecting, and if you watch Planty YouTube or like Planty Instagram or whatever the case is, I think we're just all influenced by other people's collections, and that makes us want to go have the same collection as other people or be more like other people, when we should just really stop and think about what that's going to entail and like how much work that's going to be, and if we're up for it.
Yeah.
I feel like when I first started collecting plants, that was me. Like I was watching a lot of YouTube and I was seeing other people's collections, and I was like, I almost challenged myself where I was like, I'm going to do this. This is fun. This is a great new hobby, because in the winter, I don't work all winter. So I need something to keep my mind active and like going.
Yeah.
But then as soon as, you know, summer came around, it was like, oh, I have 100 plants and a full-time job now.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's not easy to be a plant parent with that many plants. So
yeah, it definitely, you can get super overwhelmed very quickly, get burnt out, and then not really enjoy it anymore.
Thanks, Ahmed. Is there any more?
I mean, there are, but I feel like we're almost like we're almost at a feature film length, so.
I mean,
Potted Together feature film. Grand opening. Okay. Thanks so much, guys, for joining us in today's episode. Be sure to leave us a review if you haven't already. It really helps to get us into more planty people's ears, and you know, we just want to share the love. And then also, if you're not following us already, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Potted Together, Potted Together on YouTube. And then also don't forget to follow us individually. Adam is at NotDude, KNOT. I'm My Clean Leaves, and Becca is De La Plants. And we'll see you next week. We're winding down to the end of season 3, and I'm getting a little sad.
yeah. But we'll see you on the flip side.
Yeah, if a meteor doesn't hit this week, then we'll see you next week, okay?
We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
I can never watch Armageddon again.
Oh my gosh, I'm scared.
Gear Patrol calls their new dive watch the best sub-$500 dive watch. Full stop. Men's Health rated them as the most stylish solar watch in the game. Who are we talking about? It's Movement. They're leveling up your gift giving with the sleekest watches you can buy and the biggest deals of the season. From their innovative ceramic materials to sexy automatic divers, from ultra-thin dress watches to solar-powered statement pieces, and everything in between, Movement is making sure you're the good gifter this year, for your family, your friends, or for yourself. And now you can take advantage of 30 to 50% off Movement's California clean watches, jewelry, and accessories to get them a gift they'll never forget. With fast, free shipping and returns and amazing bang for your buck, Movement makes for a relaxed shopping experience. And with one-size-fits-all watches, it's an easy, elegant gifting experience, too. Shop 30 to 50% off now at mvmt.com. That's mvmt.com.